we're going to be doing is known as Bhramari Pranayama, which basically, I don't know if it translates to it, but it is known as the Bumblebee Breath. Okay, and so for the Bumblebee Breath, I'll talk you through the Bumblebee Breath, because again, this is the breath work where there's not really any risks necessarily to doing this practice, but there are a few that should just be considered, where it's recommended that this isn't done for people that currently have an ear infection or severe sinusitis. So yeah, if you've got anything going on with your ears, your sinuses, this is a breath work to just exercise caution with. Doesn't say you shouldn't do it, but definitely be cautious with it. And potentially if you suffer with severe migraines, I think it's more just if you are currently suffering with a migraine, this is maybe a breath work to not do. But again, in terms of the breath works we're doing today, this is the safest one. But it basically, the practice, it will lower your heart rate and your blood pressure. So anything sort of connected to that is a reason to avoid doing this breath work. But for the Bumblebee Breath, we're going to do 2 rounds of it, as a sort of 2 ways of doing it. And the focus with this breath work is really using your core muscles, your abdominals, to control the exhale and to really control your diaphragm. So the idea is that you want to extend the exhale for as long as you can, and that will make the sound of the bumblebee for as long as possible, right? So with the breath work, you take a deep breath in, and then this is where the control comes in. As you exhale, so you vibrate your throat and you make the sound of a bumblebee. So the idea is that you really, with your eyes closed, you're focusing and really tuning into your abdominals, your sort of, your core muscles and your breathing muscles in your belly. And you're controlling the exhale to make it as long as possible so that you can make the bumblebee sound for as long as possible, okay? We'll do 1 round together, and then we'll do a second round that is a little bit more intense, basically. So come to sitting comfortably. Doesn't need to be a fancy sitting posture or anything, just so you can extend through the spine. You want to make space for your lungs, so just rolling your shoulder blades backwards. And just close your eyes for a moment and tune into your breath. So just tuning into your natural breath, focusing. And then start deepening your breath. Breathing deeper in, longer out. And so, with your next breath in, breathe in as deep as you can and fill your lungs. And then with the exhale, opening your eyes. So, that's 1 round. Pretty simple, not too complicated. Let me know how that was for you, if that made sense, if anything needs to be clarified, or if you just have any feedback. For myself, just the 1 round, I can already feel settled. There's a calmness in me just from the sort of, the extended period of focusing, and also the vibrations that you create in your body are very calming, very relaxing. Again, just looking at the list here, when you do this breath work, it really works with your, where does it say? It really works with your reducing the heart rate and blood pressure, as I mentioned. It improves nasal airflow and oxygen uptake from the nasal humming, reduces stress and anxiety, this has been proven in studies, and can also improve sleep onset. So not a bad breath work to use before going to bed, actually. One to if you're settling down to go to sleep at the end of the night, and maybe your mind is a bit busy, a bit preoccupied, and you're tossing and turning, not able to fall asleep. This is the breath work that can set you up for nodding off, basically. So that's one way to do the breath work, Bhramari Pranayama. The other way to do it, now, the way of doing this, it can make some people feel a little bit claustrophobic because of the intensity of it. And if it makes you feel a bit claustrophobic, you just take your hands away and you stop doing the practice, and you just take some deep breaths and center yourself. But you do the same breath work, only this time it's really hard to use the camera. So with your thumb, see the flap of your ear, so the little part of your ear here, and with your thumb you can press that, and that sort of closes your ear hole. So with your thumbs you press on the little part of your ear here to close the hole of your ear, and then you can rest your fingers on your eyes, and your eyes are closed. And so that's going to really capture the sound, capture the vibration inside of your head, inside of your skull. And so then you're going to just be a lot more engrossed in the experience, a lot more tuned in, and it's going to be a lot more intense. So again, if it's too intense, if it's a little bit too much, take the hands away, a couple of deep breaths, and just allow yourself to settle back into feeling a bit more normal. But otherwise, again, sitting long, have your chest nice and open. Place your thumbs on your ear flaps. Rest your fingers on your eyes. So we're going to take a deep breath in together, and then when I say exhale, close your ears and do the Bumblebee breath in the throat. So again, deep breath in, and Bumblebee. And so obviously once you're finished, taking your hands away, settling back into your regular breathing. And so that is the Bhramari Pranayama, the Bumblebee Breath. And it's just really, really beneficial to, if you're someone that you haven't done much breathing practice in your life, it's a really good way to connect to using the muscles that control your breath.